From across the planet, Recycling Times keeps you in touch with the latest computer printing news.
Hello, I'm David Gibbons and here is the news. The Beijing Higher People's Court in China wants to know more about remanufacturing and whether it infringes on patent laws. The court, which only has local jurisdiction, will issue a draft paper for comment. But the document is not available yet and no deadline for submissions has been given. The court will examine industries where any used products are repaired, remanufactured and resold, including motor vehicles, cameras, refrigerators, aircraft and printer cartridges. Lawyers representing cartridge remanufacturers say the industry must be careful not to react too quickly. Some reports have misquoted the facts and have misrepresented the truth about the court's planned inquiry.
We just need to make a good communication, a good presentation, and make the reasonable effort to the Beijing High Court, and we believe a reasonable result will be achieved.
Many people in the computer printing industry have heard of Memjet, but very few people have actually seen the new printer technology until now. The popular 139-year-old Popular Science magazine has given Memjet the 2011 Best of What's New award. They say the office printer offers fast colour, cost-efficient printing for less money. Memjet claims paper passes through the printer faster than laser printers and deposits 774 million dots of ink every second, 17 times more than inkjet printers. The Memjet technology, which is protected by more than 3,000 global patents, went on show in Shanghai, China this week looking for distributors. And in a few minutes I'll ask Charles Brewer more about Memjet printing technologies. Empty printer cartridges are always difficult to find, particularly those that have never been repaired or remanufactured before. These empty cartridges are called virgins. But Static Control now has a solution. They say you can use empty cartridges which have been remanufactured many times and still get them to perform as if they were brand new.
So you can take a Static Control colour kit, use a non-virgin empty cartridge and you'll get good results, and it makes more economical sense for the remanufacturer to do that.
Static Control say they will guarantee the performance of any remanufactured cartridge where their 9 critical components designed to function together have been replaced. Critical components include the chip, printer drum, wiper blade, magnetic roller, doctor blade and of course the toner. The Static Control colour packs will work on the popular HP 2600 and the newer HP 4525 and 5500 printer cartridges. A US court has rejected a claim by Chinese remanufacturing giant Ninestar. Ninestar tried to prove inkjet manufacturer Epson had deceived the US Patent and Trademark Office to get ink cartridge patents that would give them a monopoly with supplies. Claims and counterclaims have been going on since 2006 when Ninestar and 24 other companies from China, Germany and the US had infringed 11 Epson patents for printer cartridges. Epson and Ninestar will be back in court in March 2012 on related patent issues. And I'll be back with more news in just 15 seconds. When you want to know what's going on, where do you go? When you want to do new business confidently, where do you go? You go to the #1 source of news and business. Welcome back, I'm David Gibbons, and in brief, HP is helping to set up an e-waste centre in Mombasa, Kenya to separate plastics and metals. Every year 3,000 tonnes of electronic waste are produced in Kenya. IT research company Context says economic slowdown has seen computer printer sales decline 1% in Western Europe and 7.4% in Central and Eastern Europe during the third quarter this year. HP remains the largest printer supplier in Europe, Middle East and Africa with a 44.4% market share. Canon is second with 21.4%, followed by Epson, Brother, Samsung and then Lexmark. A Japanese company has developed a secure printing system which uses DNA ink to prevent the spread of counterfeits. Ninestar is now using the DNA ink to safely mark labels on high-valued fish and other food. And still in Japan, two sellers of compatible ink cartridges are taking Canon to court in Tokyo. Blazer and Sanyo say Canon breaches the Anti-Monopoly Act and has no good reason to install infrared filters in their cartridges, which stops competitors from supplying replacement ink. And now we go to Charles Brewer. Charlie, we covered a story in the news about the Memjet printing technologies. They're one of the newest OEMs. In your view, how are things going for Memjet?
Well, Memjet's interesting, David. You know, I've been a skeptic of that technology since the first time I was exposed to it about 5 years ago. The high-speed applications and using the print heads and the nanotechnology that Memjet uses, packing all of those nozzles so closely onto a plate, I always thought that it was going to cause, they wouldn't be able to produce them. But they have moved into mass production. We have now seen some labeling machines, coming from, I think, as many as 5 or 6 different vendors. There's also mailing equipment that's using Memjet technology. I'm sure that you've heard about the desktop machines that have come out. And then we just heard last month that there will be a Memjet wide format machine that Zante will market. So I think there's a lot of questions that still remain when it comes to Memjet, but it seems like they've been able to clear that first hurdle and produce their print heads. Back to you, David.
Recycling Times Media brings you the news the way you want to receive it. Recycling Times Media brings you the #1 trade show in the world. Recycling Times, #1 for news and business. Thanks, Charles Brewer. Well, that's the news for now, but for breaking news each day, go to www.recyclingtimes.tv. And you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well. Thanks for watching. See you again next week. I'm David Gibbons.